Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So this engine is the one that I popped a new seal in. The new seal's on this side. It was the one that was leaking, and you can see it's now brown rather than the black seal that was in there that we pulled out together. Now, that's fine. I've actually done a pressure and vacuum test off camera and it passes. And I thought, why not while I'm in here? This is for my own curiosity. You don't have to do this, but I'm always wanting to learn, find out more, and yeah, just become the best I can be at what I'm doing, in this case, engine repairs. So I like to dig in and find out a bit more information. I like to question what I've got written down in this book. And so what I've decided to do with this video, we're going to do a compression test. Now, a two-stroke, modern two-stroke like this, not all two-strokes, especially outboards and stuff, they can have a lot less compression, and that's exactly how they're meant to be. But for a two-stroke like this on a piece of outdoor power equipment, 150 psi is about where you'd expect it. If it's not brand new and it's not worn out, it's kind of like the middle ground. It's a good place. 185 psi plus is an excellent reading, or I guess anything over 150 is excellent, and you don't want to go any lower than 120. You probably won't get it to run at about the 120 or less. So that's the point where you change rings. So what I thought we'd do, we will do a compression test on here, and then we'll take the cylinder head off, and I'll measure the ring end gap, and I'll see and compare the two together. So we'll go into a bit more detail, but let's first get the compression test out. I'm sorry if I'm twisting a bit funny, I've hurt my neck. So I would suggest we're probably going to be about the 160 mark on here. I don't know, but I might be surprised. It might be 180. We'll have a look. We need to go other way. That was set up for running the engine backwards. It's all going to go back to normal. Okay, and we are 155 psi. That is a very acceptable reading, and I would suggest that it's not obviously not brand new, but I'd suggest that the ring end gap is certainly within spec. So with that reading, let's now take the cylinder head off. We'll measure ring end gap, and then we will just confirm that the numbers that I've got, which I'll share with you, are in keeping with one another. Now we need to take the cylinder head off, but we also need to take the muffler off. We can take that one out on its own. So we'll take, oh, that hurts. And if you haven't got yourself an impact driver for small engines, or an impact wrench for larger engines, I highly recommend it. You don't have to go with Milwaukee. You can go with whatever brand you like. Even the cheapest brand you're going to get is going to be absolutely fine. I had a really cheap rubbishy one before this, and other than this being lighter, there was nothing wrong with the other one. In fact, the other one even had better illumination. It had a whole ring around it rather than just Milwaukee's bottom. Do it in small increments. That's it. So let's just pop it off first, mate. Let's see how we go. It will probably tear it, but we might be lucky. I wonder if I can just put a bit of compression through it. I'd hope that was going to push it off, but it's not going to. Don't prise with a screwdriver, because you're actually going to end up damaging the case. A gentle tap with a hammer. That's all loose. That's loose. So nothing's connecting it together. Just be careful, you don't break anything. There we go. You heard that tone change. Gosh, they really put this on tight, haven't they? There we go, finally. Yeah. So, what we'll do, that's all torn up. We can pop a new one on there, that's no issues at all. Let's pop the top ring off first. Hopefully you can see. I don't want to break anything here. So we put it in. I'll take the other ring off the piston, and I'll use the piston to push it to the top. There. Let's have a look. 37 mil. So we're going to use 37 mil to give us our equation. So, oh gosh, I need the computer to do it. I need the calculator. So 37 mil, our equation is going to be 0.004 times 37. That's going to give us the tightest ring end gap. And then we're going to do 0.01 times 37 to get us our loosest ring gap. And I would suggest this is probably halfway worn. So I would say somewhere in between there is where these will be. Roughly, maybe a little bit more than that. It's very hard to just estimate like that. But the piston still has machine marks on it. So I would suggest that we're going to be somewhere in about there. So, computer coming on. So, tightest is 0.15, loosest is 0.37. Let's have a look. This is the top ring, so this will be the most worn. Let's start with 0.37. Not 0.38. Nope, that doesn't fit. So, that's good. Let's do 0.15. So we're going to go both ends. This should fit because these aren't brand new. Yeah, that fits. And I suggested we'd be halfway between the two. 0.3 does, but it's starting to get a bit snug there. Let's try 0.33. 0.33 is very snug. That's probably, if I did do it, that's why I couldn't get it. So 0.33 is where we are at the moment. Second ring. I'd suggest this is probably in the realm of about 0.3-ish. Generally, this one's better. And it is. Yeah, that's a snug fit. So 0.33 on the top, 0.3 at the bottom. This is a half-worn engine. I think they're, well, my guess, roughly looking at it, that's excellent. That reassures me that the information I got off is very good. So that goes back. We're going to make a new gasket now. So top and bottom. Put the bottom one first. Right, let's go get a wire wheel, and I'm going to wire wheel that off. Give it a slosh out, put a new gasket on the end, and good to go. Back in a sec. 20. Get a nice circle going. Got our circle. That goes over. We'll just check our measurements. We're bang on there. Literally bang on. Right, now what we need to do is to mark it with our fingers where the transfer ports are. Let me show you. I'm just pushing down here. You can get a hammer for this, but at the moment it's okay. So if I show you now what I've, might be clearer seeing it that way. Can you see how I've pushed the transfer marks in? We'll now cut those out. Okay, so we've cut out our transfers. Thin side goes that way. Let's have a quick look, make sure we're not blocking any part of the transfer. There's a tiny bit there because we don't want to affect the passage of fuel. That's good there. That is absolutely spot on. I'm very happy with that. I've got one. Three. And the fourth one is there. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we have it. Now let's put that back on. Check that they all line up. And they do. We are ready to remove the last part of the gasket now, which is this underside. Okay, so I've just put some, oh, hopefully you can see me. I've just put some multipurpose, is essentially work brain. WD-40. It's just a good moisture displacement. So I ended up going over with Scotch-Brite, and I did a wire wheel as well. So I flushed the whole bottom of the crankcase, cleaned it all out, used an air compressor, and then I have just gone over with some of that multi-purpose lubricant / WD-40, and that will help to dry off any possible moisture. I'm going to go out one more time, now that the air compressor's just finished. I'm going to give it a blow, get rid of the any possible moisture remaining. Then we're going to spray 2-stroke oil in there, going to clean the piston. Not clean the piston, I've actually done the crown too. We're going to oil the piston, then we're going to put it back together with our new gasket. I might have to trim that down slightly, but the internals and the bolt holes are good. So, back in a sec. Okay, gasket is done. That's going that way. Make sure our patterns line up. My apologies, it's actually that way. I was wondering why that didn't look so good. Because we're now going to put the cylinder head back on, so we want to give it a good covering of, can you see? Yeah, a good covering of lubrication. Now you can put a gasket maker on here, but I'm not going to bother unless I have to. That goes that way. I had a couple of people that weren't particularly happy with some of my videos and said that I was wrong. Hey, look guys, as I've said before, this is just how I do it, and it's just my preference. So if you have a differing opinion, absolutely share it, but it's going to happen. People are going to have a difference of opinion on things, so it's just the way it is. One, two, three, and no, make sure we're not bleeding down there. Normally wait about 30 seconds, just see if I'm getting any sort of drop. I think it might be dropping just marginally, but it's most likely coming out of one of these holes. Let's have a look. Tighten that one up a bit more. Tighten that one up a bit more. And we'll just tighten this one up a smidge, just a smidge more. Let's have a look. All right, bang on 8. Let's just see if it drops. Nope, it's perfect. Now we need to turn the crank, so we need a 13 and a socket. And we're going to put a vacuum. This is for seals. 10 inches of mercury. Sorry, 15 inches of mercury. Give it a couple of rotations in its running direction. Might be easier this side actually. And we are back at bang on 15 inches of mercury. Pressure vacuum test has passed with flying colours. That's it. Bit of fun, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as I said, I might do things in a different way to you, and I know a couple of people have commented that didn't like certain things that I've done, and that's absolutely fine, guys. We're never going to all agree on everything, but either way, I hope that you just enjoyed the video for what it is. Cheers, guys.